Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Um, I'm glad to see all of you here, although I can't physically see, but I can see the subscribers and who has viewed the video and who has liked. For this video, I would like to speak about my transition in mental health and that entire journey thus far. Um, First, my name is Ashlyn. I also go by Jade. And I have known I was trans or transgender since the age of 7 or 8. And I never followed gender norms. I always saw myself as a girl and I was always into girly things since the age of 3. For instance, I played with dolls, I put on wigs, I wore dresses, I wore heels, and I always wanted to be a cheerleader, which is, kind of weird. And not all of those things are girly, but when I was growing up and in the town that I live in, that was definitely things only girls could do. There was never a guy on the, cheer team. There was guys in like color guard, which I dabbled a little bit into that, but that was still considered girly. And then I was diagnosed with autism when I was very young. This was probably my first grade year, kindergarten, first grade. And that has impacted me within my transition due to having a difficult time processing and coping with change. And that's weird because since the age of 12, I always wanted to look like the girls. I always wanted to go through the same puberty as cis women go through. And now that it's happening, it's scary, and it has impacted my daily routine in life. Due to depression. So all throughout high school, I wanted to transition. I had that all the time in the back of my head. My body didn't represent what my mind pictured me as, which that was even harder for me to deal and cope with. And then at the age of 17, I found out that I have bipolar type 2 disorder, and that impacted my transition as well. Since I had to be without symptoms for a year, I had to continue seeing my therapist, and at that time, it was after I had got out of a manic episode, and that just prolonged the process. I beat myself up constantly about that because I felt like I had done that to myself due to, I was sleep deprived, but I didn't know at the time I was sleep deprived due to the mania. So that was just a very, very hard time in my life. And then the psychosis alongside it was that made it worse because my therapist ended up writing me the letter after I was a year symptom-free of mania, depression, and psychosis. But the psychosis lasted for a year and a half, 2 years. So this was between probably the end and the beginning of my 11th grade year to my graduation. And that time is honestly a blur because of, just the psychosis. I was trying to move on and live my life, but I had these delusions, and I can't even tell you all the delusions that were going on, but I wholeheartedly believed every delusion that was going through my head, and it impacted me with friends, it impacted me with my school. I ended up having to go to the psychiatric hospital, and then I had to get a clear from my psychiatrist before I could even return back to school. So I don't know the full backstory of what had happened and why I ended up getting kicked out of school and having to go to the psychiatric hospital. But those are just, situations and scenarios that definitely impacted me in my transition, which is what I wanted to talk about in this video. And then, of course, the autistic traits that I have and how that impacted my transition. And it's not just me, it's a lot of transgender people. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people that are trans have autism or are, you know, neurodivergent, because almost all of us do not conform to social norms or gender norms. I never understood gender norms. I never understood social cues and facial expressions, and I still don't. So there's that. So that is all for this video. Thank you for listening, and I am so thankful for Maddie and Mary Lynn, who have gave me the courage to share my transition and share my personal story. I have followed them for, oh my god, it's been years, and they are just amazing people, and I'm so happy that I have them in my corner, and that I am, you know, transitioning alongside Maddie, because I always felt like I was alone in my transition, and now, you know, I have a fellow, you know, trans friend, so that is nice. But until then, au revoir and goodbye.